Okay, bunch of things. I'm gonna try to keep this brief. The recent shooting in Las Vegas. To me, it's too early to draw, many, if any, real conclusions. Only thing that seems pretty clear is that the gun or guns that were used are already illegal. So where I am on the gun control debate is we need to regain more of our rights and more of our civil liberties before we can afford to give any more of them up. We have no election integrity. Okay, so voting is completely fake. I've created a couple of memes on this. The voting machines that at least 90% of the country uses are easily hackable and easily riggable. The databases that store voter registration records are for everywhere that's not same-day registration, and for those where it's okay as well. They're, again, easily tamperable, and they happen, and especially when you add in the closed primary system or semi-closed primary system, that's another complete mess. Then you add in some areas have at least some degree of absentee ballot, voting by mail, in areas where mail systems are not good. You have people that are delayed in terms of their ballot getting to the proper location, and thusly barred from voting that way. So we don't have real elections, okay? The ones that do get in, they're completely bought, and they show it in terms of this PAC money, super PAC money, dark money organizations like Our Revolution, like Brand New Congress, like Justice Dems, like the Democratic Socialist of America. They're all messes, and there's many others that are smaller. Invisible is another one. ADAPT is a good organization for disabilities. Invisible is a dark money organization. As in dark money, as in they don't disclose their donations, who funds them, and therefore how they go, and that's the mess there. We, in addition to no election integrity, we have a third world infrastructure. We have, in terms of it's a mess, okay? Public transit, sidewalks. You could tell roughly a household's income via looking at no further than the doorstep to their building, okay? And that's true in most parts of the country, okay? Be it their house, be it their apartment, most of the time you could tell. You look at their street, you look at the street signs, you look at the sidewalks, or lack thereof, and by the time you look at the exterior of the building, you pretty well know. It's, again, you can't guess dollar for dollar, but you could get a good range, and that needs to stop. Okay, which is to say, if it's a poor neighborhood, if it's a poor place, you're going to have potholes galore, and that's one of the reasons that, in terms of if you're poor, eventually you're going to become disabled, because the infrastructure is such a mess that you are guaranteed to get injured eventually, no matter how strong you once were. And then, of course, medical care. So after you get injured, you can't get proper treatment. Medical malpractice is one of the leading causes of death in this country. It's not. It's not guns. Yes, we have a lot of them. Not saying that in the USA as a country we don't have a lot of guns. We do. But considering all stuff that's going on, again, guns are the last thing on my list to try and control. So, and then of course we have between, at this point, I'd say 40 to 50% real rate of adults that are unemployed. And the second, we scale back our military, which we have people all over the world, okay, serving, in both actual people that are in our official armed services, or defense contractors with U.S. people, most of whom are former military, working for them, okay, that are from the United States of America. And so once you cut back the military in all of its aspects, you're going to jump up without a massive public works program to at least 60 to 70% unemployed, which is why universal basic income is so needed. Until we develop, or at least until we develop something like interplanetary and bases and or programs, okay? Until we develop actual settlements on possibly the moon and or Mars and or in other solar systems, we need a bridge, okay? We need, and universal basic income is the best way because it takes out the inefficiencies of the needs-based programs, which right now are they're almost completely failing me and my husband, because there's so many hoops to jump through for people like us, where we are disabled. We don't need actual quote-unquote caregivers. We just need to get above the poverty line for some basic things to help us out. I say basic things in terms of our arthritic and mobility issues. We're talking about an electric dishwasher. We're talking about laundry machines in our building. At the very least in our building, really on our floor, and we're in our apartment. Okay. Those conveniences alone would dramatically help us out, okay? So when I say, and a shower chair for me, and beyond that, just the money to buy enough food, okay, for 3 meals a day. So again, when I say, we could use some hands in terms of help with doing stuff around, as I said, and again, many people do indeed take these things for granted to me. A dishwasher and a laundry machine in their dwelling. Okay? Again, not the height of luxury, not, we need, a maid service. No. Those two things, they'll cut down my arthritis pain and, ease of mobility a great deal. And beyond that, a vehicle, or at least side-to-side transport to our doctors that is punctual. When I say punctual, I mean give us a 10-minute window to come downstairs and go to a vehicle that's waiting. Especially for my husband at this point, where he's at, that's kind of what he needs. Because 0.7 miles is the closest. Well, no, 0.5, half a mile. Each direction, no place to sit down at the bus stop, waiting 10 to 20 minutes, and maybe yes, maybe no, getting a seat on the bus. He can't do that, and sometimes that's enough to cause me to either die or darn close to it in terms of taking food to and from. So, for bad weather, having SNAP cover, buying food online and having it delivered, that's another thing. And again, many people indeed do take these things for granted. I can order my groceries online and have it delivered, or I can go to my car and then, and again, I'm not saying that I need to have mechanical lifts to get my groceries up the stairs. No, don't need that. I just need to be able to take it slow on the days when my arthritis gets bad. But again, I don't like the nonsense of Amazon expanding outwards because it's a giant behemoth, and I don't like the master control thing. I want to be actually able to buy local. The Union Square Farmers Market, where I could buy organic non-GMO from within about 500 miles. That's with knowing that trailer farms exist right now. I don't understand why I can't get a trailer farm to come within, a quarter mile of me here and just buy from them. If I could buy ice cream from an ice cream truck, in wintertime, have an organic food truck, have a fresh food truck that we could pay with EBT, okay, which is, or SNAP. The cards in New York and in a couple of other parts of the country, it's the same thing as a credit card. Same swiper, okay? Same. So there's no technological reason why this isn't being done, and therefore there's no way that it's an actual issue of it can't be done. It's just a matter of it's not being done yet. And that's why I often talk about what is being done and what could be done. I like the concept of proposing both solutions and problems because, again, people wonder, well, you're just criticizing. No, I have ideas to combat what I'm saying. And again, that's one of, I think, my biggest frustrations overall. I see so many wonderful things that are possible. None of them are all that difficult, except regaining election integrity because of overall corruption. I have a plan for that in terms of a parallel track and then challenging it in court, but the system in court. But again, that relies upon judges actually not being corrupt. But again, after we get over that hurdle, okay, of regaining election integrity, I don't really foresee that much of a problem. We have pollution issues, yes. Fukushima is raging out of control, but there are ways to clean up most of that. There are ways to curtail risks. So for now, I'm just saying, yeah, we've got a big mess, but we can make it all happen. So, as ornery as I know many of you are, I know I am often, just try and help me and others get it all done. Shalom.